What up, y'all? Mr. Cruz here, the latest teacher you never had, and in today's video, I'm excited to be showing you guys how you guys can utilize ReDrum and Kong to make your drums and your hi-hats and your snares and your shakers and everything sound more realistic, right? Because we want our drums, in some cases, especially in the beat that you're going to hear today, I wanted these hi-hats to sound very realistic, or I just wanted them to not sound synthetic and bland. So I'm going to show you guys how I did that. I'm going to show you guys how I did it using ReDrum and how to do it, get the same effect using Kong. So bam, I'm giving you a 2 for 2, man, and y'all are getting this for free, man. These gems, what? All right, so for starters, let's go ahead and listen to this beat that we got here. Actually, I'm gonna fast forward it to right before it gets into the verse where you really hear the hi-hats. So let's solo those hi-hats. All right, so that's the feel that we're going for. All right, and as we're listening to it, we can kind of hear, you can hear that, right? It has like that swing, that bounce, and that kind of comes from the dynamic range between it having a low hit or a hit when the hi-hat is hit and it is played with a low volume versus when you strike it and you hear it a lot louder, because obviously if a real drummer was hitting that hi-hat and he struck it softly, you wouldn't hear it as loud as if when he struck it hard and it's very loud. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how I come up, or how you can use ReDrum to get that effect. All right, so again, that's our hi-hat. That's the sound that we're going for. All right, and that just sounds a lot better than if it was stagnant, and if it was just samey. Samey is not really a word, man. I'm too sophisticated to use the word samey. But if it was, here we got, and stuff like that. All right, so what you want to do is you want to start out with your hi-hat. So there's my hi-hat sound, and down here in my drum pattern bank, as soon as I enable this mug, in pattern 6 I have my pattern for my hi-hats, and you'll notice that my steps are all filled in because that's kind of the resolution that I wanted. I wanted it at 1/16. Well, it's 1/8, but you know my tempo is double time, so you get it. Y'all are smart. So there's a hotkey that you can use in order to fill in this pattern bank here. So if I were to do it, let's delete it all. And if I were to do it normally, this is what we would have, and it would sound boring. Right? That's trash, especially for this beat, right? Because this beat has a lot of live elements to it. So I want to make something a little bit different. So actually, no, I shouldn't have deleted that. I'm gonna fill them all in, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the dynamic of this by using my hotkey. So if I hold shift and then click one of the steps, it'll turn red, which indicates that it's a hard hit. And let's just put a couple of random ones around here. There we go. Now if I hold control, or technically control doesn't do anything, but if you hit control, it'll turn it to the, I don't know what color that is, orange, for signifying like a medium, but that's like your default hit. Now if I hold alt and do the same thing, I will get the yellow tinge, which will give me a light or a soft hit, which indicates that the velocity is going to be softer. All right, so I do it just randomly, fill it out, couple, and then now let's play it. All right, see, so now we already have like just a little bit more exciting, like, and it just took us very little effort to do that. The other thing you want to do is, this is what I like to do, is I turn my velocity knob all the way up. Hey, Fat Joe. Because I want there to be that huge distinction between the low velocities, right, the soft hits, and the hard hits. So turning your velocity knob all the way up will increase the range between when you hit it hard and when you hit it soft, and how loud those two hits are going to be. All right, so once I do that, let's say if I went back here and I deleted this. So this, I'm showing you guys, I deleted that because I want to show you guys exactly how I did it when I created this. So I created a pattern bank because that's in my pattern. All right, and then that was bank or pattern loop number 6, I believe. So if I go back, yep, so that's it. And then I like to convert my automation notes to I like to convert my patterns to automation. So I'm gonna just take this back down and bring it back to the lane titled hi-hat. And then I can delete my pattern. And like that, I'm done. Bam. Right, so our hi-hat sound, I think, significantly better. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the exact same thing using Kong, because I know a lot of you guys out there don't like redrum. Y'all use Kong, so I'm going to show you guys the same thing. Even though I don't even be using Kong like that. I don't even be using it that much. So let's delete our hi-hats right there. Go down to, so I have the same pattern. Actually, what I did here is I dragged that same pattern and I brought it down here to my Kong hi-hats lane. So I'm going to show you guys what I did here. So with this, all I did was I dragged the exact same sample that I had in redrum, right? The same hi-hat, and I dragged it into patterns 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not patterns, pad 1, 2, 3, and 4. So with that, I also want to utilize over here in my pad settings, I want to utilize the alt group setting. So in pad settings, I'm going to hit this quick edit magnifying glass, and for pads 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to put them all in the same alt group or the same alternate group of G. So what that does is anytime I hit one of the pads in that group, it runs the chance of hitting another pad that's in that same group. So if I hit one of these pads, you'll see the pad light up, and that'll mean that that's the pad that was actually triggered, not essentially the pad that was hit. So bam. All right, so I hit one. You didn't see any other pads light up, so that means that it actually triggered pad 1. Let's do it again. All right, see, so that time pad 3 lit up, so that means pad 3 was the one that was triggered. So if I could keep doing this, you know, I can bounce back and forth between all of the pads in that same alternate group. So the only thing that I did here, and this is kind of simple, is of course, like I said, I dragged all of those samples into the same sample into all of those. Now with each one of these pads, I gave it a different setting, and I just changed the setting a little bit. So for this first one, I kind of kept it normal. The second one, so you'll notice here the volume in the pan that I kind of changed those. So between 1 and between 2. So 2, I turned the volume down a little bit and I panned it a little bit. I don't usually always pan my hi-hats, but in this case I did. And then for 3, this one kind of looks normal. So compared to this one, it looks like I turned the volume up a little bit, and I also actually changed the velocity. Not the velocity, I changed the pitch down a little bit. And for this last one, I added, I turned down the tone and added actually I added this, but you see that it's kind of bypassed because I just turned down the tone on this fourth one. So once I do that and I kind of copy the same pattern that I had with redrum, let's go ahead and unmute this, and then I will have, let's mute it. That one actually sounds a little bit better. Hey. All right. So there you guys go. Quick little 10-minute video showing you guys how you can make your drums and your hi-hats and all other kinds of sounds, whatever percussive sounds you're going to use for your drums, to make them sound more realistic and give them a little bit more life. Now, I only showed you hi-hats, but again, you can apply this to snares, you can apply it to kicks, you can apply it to any kind of instrument that you're going to be dropping, or any kind of samples that you're going to be using in your songs. Well, that's what I got for you guys today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below, which of these two methods do you see yourself utilizing, whether it's the redrum one or whether it's the Kong one. Would love to hear about that from you guys. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, man. Appreciate you guys rocking out with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Mr. Cruz out.